You're now rocking with the bad boys of the Dynasty, Nasty Noop and Terradome on Move the Sticks 365.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Move the Sticks. I'm your host, Nasty Noop, and like always, I have my co-host, the OG Chris Murray, with me. Hey, what's going on, OG?
Man, feel good to be back, man. Move the Sticks. We in full effect.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, man. We've been off the scene, man, just trying to handle business behind on getting some stuff ready for the upcoming Madden 20 team draft. So that's been keeping us kind of busy, but we wanted to get back on, man, because there's a lot of stuff that has been going on around the league. So I guess, man, first up, man, let's look at some around the Dynasty news. All right, so our first topic of discussion, man, is going to be the point system, man. So what have been your thoughts and feelings about it so far this cycle, man?
So far this cycle, it's been good. I think that it's a lot of guys that's stepping up, that wants to step up now. Not just off the fact of they're earning points, but it's getting a lot of guys engaged and jumping on shows. We got a lot of guys that's pushing a bunch of content as far as like graphics. So it's right now is what I think is just motivating people rather than having people just do it just because. So I like it right now. And with us factoring in the Elite 8 being a lock set picks for guys not being able to jump ahead of those guys. So I think the point system working out good.
Yeah, man, it's been a balance so far, man. People are stepping up, and some more than others, but you kind of expect that. But it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, man, as we go into the 2025 season and we cut off the points, and pretty much at that point it's all on high stakes where you finish and what team you're able to select going into Madden 20. I'm excited for the Elite 8. Like I stated a while ago, if you can predict the exact order of the Elite 8, you have a chance of winning your copy of Madden 20, man, on the house. So I've only gotten one list in, but this person sent it in so early. I told him, man, it might be too early for you to be sending that in, so you might want to come back later on. So I guess the other 31 people don't want a free copy of Madden 20, so it is what it is. I keep that money in my pocket and do some other things with it. But like I said, like I stated a little bit a while ago, man, 2025 will be the last season that you can earn points, and everybody has a goal of at least hitting 100 points before the end of the 2025 season. And it's saying that once again, if you don't cross over that 100-point threshold, you won't be here in Madden 20 no matter what. Does not matter who you are. I don't care how long we've been rocking in this game. I don't care about that stuff, man. Everybody has to be held to the same standard, because like with anything, man, some people are going to do more work than others, but here everybody's going to have to contribute something. And I figured 100 points was the bare minimum that you could do to survive, man, and that wasn't asking too much.
Yeah, but if you look at it, like even 100 points, that's not hard at all, to accomplish within the season, not even within multiple seasons. You can it's so many ways to get points. Whether it's you jumping on the show, you donating, you helping out with something around the league. It's so many ways to get points. Is for guys, if you can't reach 100 points within multiple seasons, then something wrong with you, man. Just flat out. I'm just being honest. Like you got a lot of guys pushing a lot of shoes. You got a lot of guys that's asking help with around the league stuff. So it's so many ways for you to earn points. Some guys just, if you don't get to 100 points, it's basically like you putting your middle finger in. Putting your middle finger in the league face, flat out, man. That's how I'm taking it, man. But get the points, man. You're part of something good right now, man. So don't let your pride get in the way. I mean, you being arrogant. You just go get them points, man.
Exactly, man, because that's a lot of moving parts that run in this league, man. A content league, and one that goes 365 days out the year, man. Like, we're constantly putting on shows. We're constantly trying to upgrade the graphics. We're constantly trying to, push the envelope to make it better so that it's enjoyable. Because let's face it, sometimes you run into Madden, man, where Like, if it wasn't for this league, you would quit playing Madden. I've been in that situation plenty of times where, man, I just want to walk away from this game because the gameplay is not good. This is, it's not reacting the way that I think it should be. But because of the league and the content and the relationships we built here, that I stick around even when in other situations I would have walked away. So all we're asking, man, is that you step up, help out, and hit the minimum, man. That'll be it. But let's not beat a dead horse, man. Let's go ahead and move on. There was a new initiative put in place, man. We're gonna change the loan system program moving into Madden 20. Before I speak on it, OG, I'm gonna go ahead and let you break it down.
Yeah. And from my understanding, what I took out of it was that the loan system was put into place for some small marketing teams that can't get the funds, make the funds like big market teams. Like, for example, a Dallas Cowboys organization versus who can I say? Who's, for example, somebody that's smaller than the Dallas Cowboys. I'll say somebody, the Houston Texans, for example. I'll say them. But no, I wouldn't say these Texans. That's a big organization. So I say
Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
Jaguars, prime example. So you got guys that are giving these crazy contracts out. Now I'm about to give away some free chicken for some people that probably don't know. But what gets taken out of the team loan, the team salary, is the signing bonus. So you have some guys that's out here that's just abusing, pretty much giving out these crazy contracts, and it's eating up the team salary. So it's kind of like you're misusing what the loan rule was put in place for, and you got guys that's like constantly just abusing contracts, giving these dudes, like, for example, let's say I have John Ross, right? And I don't want, to trade away John Ross just for peanuts. So I go, listen, what's up, man, commission? I want to trade John Ross to you. You go, well, I can't make an offer. So what I do is I'll sign him to this crazy contract extension, and knowing that it's going to eat up my salary, my team's salary. And what I would do is I say it's cool anyway. It don't matter because I got the loan to pretty much blanking me out of it. So dudes, it's just abusing me. It's always gonna be some guys that's I'm not saying pointing no fingers or nothing at nobody, but there's always gonna be guys that's gonna try to find some way to get through the cracks and manipulate something that was put in place to help people. So I think it's gonna be something good because of the simple fact that now it brings out true GM skills, because we try to be as close as to some as possible, as far as the league. So now you got guys that in real life, if I'm an owner of an organization like the Philadelphia Eagles, I can't say, dang, look, I'm gonna pay y'all all this money, then once we go bankrupt, I'm gonna go to the commission to get a loan. It doesn't happen in real life. You see what I'm saying? So I think now what it's gonna do is it's gonna make guys have to make true GM decisions. Do I pay this guy? Do I trade this guy? Do I go after, this superstar player even though I don't need him? So I think it's going to really bring out everybody true GM skills, and you're just going to be able to separate, the pretenders, from the guys that just flat out don't know what the hell they doing.
Yeah, that's kind of what we started seeing like towards the end when you have like big market teams coming in requesting their loans, because we started seeing, okay, we see what you're doing. You're signing your players, getting ready for high stakes, because you know that you have this safety net in place, and it wasn't set up for that. So going into Madden 20, we're gonna switch that up. We're gonna go in, and we haven't made a decision yet. It's gonna be between 100 to 150 million. Maybe the smaller market teams will get 150 million, and the big market teams will get the 100 million, and then those funds will pretty much have to sustain you the entire cycle. So you're gonna have to make hard decisions on letting people walk. Now there's a lot of good parts to that, because now you're looking at free agency in the off season. There's more quality players out there as opposed to like these 68 and 72 overall players, because now you're seeing more mid-tier players out there on the market that everyone's able to bid on. But then ultimately you also have to, even in free agency, you're gonna have to make the decision: do I want to spend my capital on signing this player? Because, like I said, there are a lot of loopholes in this Madden stuff where I've seen people, and this is some more free chicken I should probably be giving out, but where people would give huge signing bonuses over a 2-year contract, because most of these players are going to take the cash up front, and then you can give them a small contract, and that person is ultimately going to win the bid for the player. That was like a loophole. There's no rule against it, so if they were able to do it, it is what it is. But you know, hopefully going into Madden 20, and they're talking about changing up a lot of the contract structures. They're talking about it. I'm still gonna wait to see exactly what they do on how they're trying to make contracts more reflective of the real NFL. See how that works out, and then we may have to adjust from there on out. But the days of you having that safety net in place, it's no longer going to be there, man. You're going to have to give up 2 of your top players if you run out of cash. And nobody wants to do that. So you have to play the long game, man. We play at least, 8 to 9 seasons per cycle. So now you're going to have to figure out how you're going to stretch that $100 to $150 million out over the entire cycle, plus the money that you bring in. We'll see, man. It should be very interesting. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it too, because it's like now, like you just like my whole thing is now you're gonna see some good players now actually in free agency, and it's gonna be like it just bring out the true GMs in the league. It's like, because I already know, man. I made a couple knucklehead decisions as far as like signing a couple guys, and it wasn't like, it just was, I wanted that guy. But now I'm going to have to really, put my head in the game and say, you got 3 wide receivers on your roster. Do you actually really need that extra wide receiver, or do you want to just sit here and go after that 72 overall guy that is going to be a filler for your roster? So it's going to be a good change for the league versus it being a bad change. I think it's going to be something real good.
Yeah, I hope so, man. But I guess, man, we'll go ahead and move on to our final topic of Around the Dynasty, and it's just coming back to playing games. So, like, we play this game 365 days a year. There comes lulls within the cycle to where I start seeing games are being played. A lot more games are being simmed. In other leagues, I have no issue with that, but here I have an issue with it because people are playing for, position going into the next cycle, and a lot of other things. You got guys playing for playoff positions. They want to get that XP, make it to the playoffs, and the other things that come along with doing that. So if you're here and you're not traveling, you're not, life hasn't pulled you too far away, you should be scheduling to play your games. And one other thing that I have to say is, your schedule is not more important than anybody else's schedule. Don't expect somebody else to schedule their game around your schedule to suit you. Now, if they can do it, fine. But for you just to say that this is the only time I can play and this is when I'm going to play, that does not work for me. That does not work for me. And I will not allow that to be here. So your job is, you better figure out how to accommodate your opponent's schedule as well. And y'all need to meet in the middle and do that. But that just, you bending my will, or we don't play, or it's going to be a sim, I don't like that. To be very honest with you. So if you think I'm talking to you right now, then I'm talking to you. But it needs to be fixed. But what are your thoughts on, man, playing games this late in the cycle?
My thing is, it's important because of the simple fact that you don't, like, all right, I'm going to use me and Maddie Ice, for example. Me and Maddie just played recently, and our schedule, like our time frame was like real conflicted, to where as though, I was more free one day than he was, and the next day, his time frame was a little bit bigger than mine. But we hashed it out, like, look, listen, if you can do it, I could be around this time, but if you can't, we can settle for a fair sum. It's like some guys is not even putting forth the effort at all. It's like, look, I can play at this time, I can't accommodate you, no how, no way. And that's just that. If we can't ball, it's a fair sum. And it's like, it's taken away because, like, a user like me, for example, I like playing on my games because it keeps me engaged in the league, for one, and two, it keeps me flowing. When you get to that point, in the cycle where as though you want to get every game going, especially now heading into high stakes, how we got this new rule in play come high stakes about you having to play with, all custom playbooks are eliminated. I play with a stock playbook. You want to get, some guys is practicing that right now. So I'm trying to play all 16 of my games. So that way, come high stakes, I can be prepared and be prepped well enough to where I can compete on a higher level. So it just overall, it affects the other user. And some guys are completely selfish because, like you stated, they're coming up with a time frame that they feel like that the other guy's obligated to attend to. Like, for example, I only can play between 8 and 9. If you can't fit that in your schedule, it is what it is. I'm telling the commission, it gotta be a fair sum. And like, dudes is getting away with that, man. It's just like, I don't get it. I mean, if you don't want to play your games, find another league, where that can fly. But here, man, we all like competing, everybody from down to the bottom tier users up to the elite users. Everybody likes to play each other and compete, so I just think that guys just need to wake up and understand it, like fully understand it. Don't just listen and shake your head, nod your head as you listen to the show, saying, okay, I get it. Like, open your mind up and really understand how much of effect that is really causing when you do this to another user. So, that's just how I feel about it, man. I think that, you have to somehow, some way, be a little bit more, you got to be flexible. If you can't ball, in my opinion, if you can't play, I'd rather you say, look, I can't play, I can't, meet, whatever schedule or whatever time frame you're trying to schedule with me, you can have the first W. Don't say, oh, that's set up for a fair sum. Now, you causing friction amongst me and you, man. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. So, the moral of the story, just play your games, man. Or if you can't play, hey, don't be an asshole about it. But let's go ahead and move on, man, to our next segment. And this is probably one of our most entertaining segments. It's the You Played Yourself. So, who do you have first up, OG?
Woo! Hey, man, I ain't do this in a while. I feel good to be back, man. But you already know this person already know he was getting it, man, because he was supposed to actually get it last season. But my man HBO, man, we calling you to the mic, man. We played the game last season. We went up against a top tier user with Matt Jackson, the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? So for everybody that's tuning in, the DML, we have a system set up to where as though when you get 50 points put on your head, we send you, the whole league, send you a bunch of pictures of 50-piece McNuggets. The top of the line, most crispiest nuggets that you can find. Now, HBO, however, he got a 50-piece put on his head with an extra 30 on the side for free. HBO, listen to me clearly, man. Once Matty Ice put up 21 points in the first quarter, your whole game plan, you just threw out the window, just run the rock. You continue to feed this monster, and he dropped 80 points on your head. 80 points. That's 20 away from 100. I mean, so with that being said, give him the button, man.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, man. So we're back again. So who do you have up next?
Next up, my homie, my main guy, Mr. T-Pain, man. T-Pain, what's going on, baby, man? Why yo. All right, let me get it together. Listen, man. You lose your phone. Cool, no problem. All right. Why would you send your girl number to another league member, telling another league member, multiple people that's on your schedule that you play in the DML, to contact your girl number to schedule a game? Come on, T-Pain. I know you better than that. Come on, baby. Like, what is going on? You don't do that. You ain't learned your lesson from the previous guy that was in the DML who posted the nice picture of his wife in the chat? You don't do that, man. But with that being said, give him the button too.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, man. So who do we have next?
Next up, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back to my man HBO, because, man, I gotta melt the mic on you, man. This offseason, you did one of the most question mark moves in the DML that I've seen. One of the most question mark moves in the DML that I've seen to date. Besides the other guys that I'm gonna get on the list, or the other two guys I'm gonna get on the list and grind them up about. But you traded away superstar running back Ezekiel Elliott, who by far is one of the most top 5 running backs in the DML right now. You trade him away for a defensive tackle who is not starting on your roster. You trade him away for a running back who is not starting on your roster to the Green Bay Packers. All right. Then you go out and you draft a rookie running back who's all right. Don't you think that is not the running back? It's you. If you can't run the rock with Ezekiel Elliott, what makes you think you could run the ball with any other running back in the DML? I don't care if you brought Emmitt Smith out of retirement. I don't care if you brought Earl Kent. I don't care if you brought Marshall Faulk. Dude, you can't run the rock. You just can't run the pill, man. You just can't do it. So with those moves you made, Dion, give him the button too.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, man. So we got 2 left on the list. So who's up first?
So we got my main man Jay, man, the new co-host of Walk the Line. I gotta give it to you. You know I gotta give it to you, man. You go out, okay. It's called the ripple effect. You trade away Rashard Bass. All right, what up? We burnt you down on the other show about that. You bring in Keenan Allen, who's by far not even your top receiver over there on your roster. You pay this guy $95.5 million at the age of 28. That boy gonna be over there eating free chicken out there in Seattle for the rest of this cycle. Why would you pay a 28-year-old wide receiver who's on a decline? It wasn't even like he was balling out over there in Seattle. He's on a decline. You paying $95.5 million? Dang. On that note, National give him the button too.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, so we're on to the final individual that made the You Played Yourself segment. So who do you have?
JB, what's up, man? What's going on out there in Denver? Because the sun not shining too bright. Okay, you trade away speed to one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most creative offensive mind users in the DML. And this dude flat out have a monster season. And you go in last season's draft and you draft a tank. You bring in, okay, Hill, who's a 91 speed. All right, he's 6'6", and the saying in the DML right now is you can't teach 6'6". All right, well, yeah, whatever. All right, yeah, all right, can't teach 6'6", but you also can't teach speed, and this dude don't have it. You had a 96 speed wide receiver who was, I believe, 6'1". Now you sitting here, you running around with a tank who, come high state's gonna be looking the same way you're looking right now. You played yourself. So on that note, smash the button on him, please.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right, so that completes our You Played Yourself segment for the 2024 season. So I guess, man, we're going to head into a new segment that we just decided to come up with, and it's called
Y'all must have forgot.
All right, so the premise of this segment is for guys that, man, previously during the cycle have been what we call like to call bottom feeders, but man, they've come out of nowhere during this 2024 season and are pretty much at the top of the conferences and their divisions right now. So first up, we have the Colts, man. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, the Colts, man, Marizi and the Colts right now, you know, they balling out. I'm just being honest. He balling right now. You know, he put together some impressive wins. He finally got over the hump of, number one, most importantly, giving Expert his first loss, meaning him actually beating Expert for the very first time this cycle. Now, after that, you know, he took down Tightwork, who's a, you know, banner hanger in the DML, you know, but he's playing real consistent right now. You know, his defense is balling out, you know, and his run game looks very solid right now, and the passing game is matching the run game also. So this guy right now, man, is balling. You know, he's sitting at 7-2. You know, but he put together some impressive wins. He's on a bye week right now. He's going to come off the bye week going up against SJ and the Houston Texans, who by far is not, you know, a sleeper matchup for him. So he's going to pretty much have to put together his A game and finish out the rest of this cycle. But I definitely see, from looking at his schedule, him having the Texans twice, the Titans, the Packers, the Jets, and the Jaguars, and the schemer in those Patriots. He can possibly, if he keep balling out how he balled out in the first half of the season, lock in that first round bye, man, and get that Indianapolis Colts organization back into the playoffs.
Okay, but I guess, man, since we're talking about him, I guess what would be his most important win of the season? Because I'm just going to go down and list the teams that he's beat this season. He beat the Lions. He beat the Vikings. He beat the Bills. He beat the Bengals. Probably his most impressive win has come up against probably the Dolphins, man, the Super Bowl defending champion. You know, he's kind of, you know, him playing expert is just what it is because they play so much. But are you saying that he's had a tough schedule, or is this a soft schedule that he's had so far?
I'm gonna say out of 9 games, and it's just speaking facts. Out of those 9 games he had, looking at it, 3 tough games. So yeah, I say that it's a soft schedule, you know. But it is what it is. A win is a win. I mean, that's the motto that I'm teaching out there in Cleveland. A win is a win. No matter if you're playing against a guy that's a bottom tier or a dude that is a top tier and you beat him by 1. A win is a win. That's just what it is in the DML. And right now, man, I can't take nothing away from him, you know. Because there's some guys that, you know, will come out and play against like a dude that they will consider a bottom tier user and take an L. So you have to stay focused in those games too, because in my opinion, those are trap games. Whereas though you get away from your game plan. You know, you coming out, you playing against that bottom tier user, you trying to put 50 on his head. You know, you trying to give him donuts. You mean, so I think, you know, it's just gonna be an interesting second half, because now you got the Jaguars, who, even though he, like you said, you mentioned he plays him a lot, he's starting to hit his stride and get into rhythm. You know, I think he's on like a 6-game winning streak. So he got the Jags, he got the schemer who, you know, if he's playing his right game, he could be a good user. That could be a good matchup. Then he has the Houston Texans twice. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do that second half of the season.
Oh, no doubt, man. So I guess give me your prediction on how far you think he can go into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, if he don't get that first round bye, he bouncing out the first round if he make the playoffs. I mean, we just talking facts, man. The playoffs in the DML is a total different ball game, man. It ain't nothing like the regular season. I'm telling you that right now.
Most definitely. So I guess, man, we're going to move on to our second team on the list, man. It's the New York Giants, man. This guy hasn't always been at the bottom, but he has the seasons where, you know, he fluctuates, man. One season is like, man, this team is unstoppable. And then you'll come back the next season, he's drafting in the top 5. So right now he's sitting back up at the 6-2 level, and him and Matty Ice are pretty much fighting it out for the NFC East. So what are your thoughts on him?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, the Giants, man, if you heard me on any show that's discussing any team, the Giants, man, is one of my favorite teams in the DML, because this roster is beautiful on both sides of the ball, you know. But I think his thing that's making him successful this season, and, you know, Westside Pablo is going to say he don't know what's going on, it's his defense. You know, these dudes right now, man, his secondary is balling out. You know, he has his free safety, Vincent Hoover, who right now has 10 interceptions, and we're only in week 10. You know, he has 10 interceptions. So that means he's averaging one INT per game. You know, then he got Eli Apple, who's balling out. He got 4 interceptions. We have Marcus Peters, who's the old school vet who's still balling out, who has 3 interceptions. And the list goes on and on. You know, he has pretty much, I'm going to say, 8 or 9 people that's in multiple digits of INTs. So his defense right now is balling out. The offense, you know, is on the same level. You know, he can't seem to still figure out how to get Saquon engaged, because Saquon, for some reason, whenever he has a good game, he seems the next week just get hit and then be out for 9 weeks. So I think that if his defense can continue to play how they're playing right now, that's secondary, and if he can continue to keep Saquon healthy, and just what I would suggest for Westside Pablo to do is just keep Saquon Barkley in the cut come playoff time. Just keep him in the cut. I mean, because clearly he never can do a regular season without getting hurt. Just keep him in the cut, man. and just lean on the running back that you're using right now. They come playoff time, postseason time, pull Saquon out, but he's balling out right now, man. I like the way this Giants team is playing. I played against him. I'm talking about that secondary was getting after every single ball that was thrown. Like, it's crazy.
I guess it just doesn't match up to the numbers, man, because his passing yards as far as defense, he's 27th in the league. He's giving up 230.6 yards per game. So, I don't know. Something is off here, man. And, this is a pass-happy league. So, once he gets to the playoffs, he may be in trouble. And I know he likes, having Matty Ice in his division, who also likes to throw the ball a lot, but who is becoming more balanced. Could be very tough for him to overtake Matty Ice and get that and win the division, to be honest with you. So it should be interesting. But before we go there, what are your thoughts on how far do you think the Giants will go in this year's playoffs?
Right now, man, if he can continue, like I said, if he can continue, to sit there and just play, lights out ball on both sides, because even though his secondary is giving up all those passing yards, they're only allowing 13 points per game. So that's good. If your secondary getting killed like that, because it means that you're not allowing you creating those big plays, giving up those big plays. Once you get into the red zone, your defense is locking them up. So I think if his defense can continue to create turnovers, and he keep feeding that glitchy wide receiver out there and can get Saquon, because I want to see him so bad in the postseason, see what he can do. Get a healthy Saquon Barkley into the postseason. This can be a dangerous team. So I got him at least making it to the divisional round. If he can continue to slow down Matty Ice and those Philadelphia Eagles, because Matty coming, best believe that.
No doubt. So, all right, man. So we'll move on to our last team that we have in the You Must Have Forgot segment, and it's the New York Jets. Just looking at his numbers, man, he's pretty much a middle-of-the-road team. His offense is, really not putting up numbers that are going to blow you away. His defense is a middle-of-the-road defense, sitting in between the 16th overall in most stats. So, but he is sitting at 6-3, man. He's a newcomer to the DML. So, what are your thoughts on Solomon?
Solomon and these Jets, right? This is the team that, like, they come out and they just figure out how to win. They're not going to have the bubbly eyes, offensive stats that woo you, like, oh my God, this guy. Or even on the defensive side of the ball, the same thing. He just comes out and he puts together a game plan. And one thing I like about Solomon that I'm noticing after watching him play in multiple games, he knows how to adjust his game. So, for example, if you come out and you want to run cover four on him all day and take away his speedy wide receiver, instead of keep constantly chucking the ball, trying to force the ball to him, he adjusts and start running that rock and running it right down your throat. So I think that just watching this team play, this is a team we'll call a dark horse in the playoffs if he can find a way to get there, because he knows how to adjust and he takes what the defense gives him. He does not force it. Well, sometimes he do get away from his game plan to force the ball, but he's hitting that stride right now where he's starting to, I think, understand his team, understand the roles that guys have out there. And I like the way this team is playing, man. I'm just being honest. I like the way they're playing. And they sitting at a good spot right now, like 6-3. I think they got the last wild card slot currently locked up right now. But I'm just interested to see what can he do for the second half of the season.
Yeah, just looking at his schedule, man, up to week 9, it's not a schedule that'll blow you away. It's pretty much he hasn't really played, a lot of the top tier users, and when he has, he's been blown out the water. I know he played the Jaguars and they put up 50 piece on him, man, and held him to and gave him a donut as well. So he was eating some donuts and some nuggets in the same sitting. So. But his biggest win of the season came up against Streets 99, those 49ers, man. He beat them 26-20. So right now, Mason at 50-50, I guess, against what we consider top tier users in this league. Me personally, I think, man, he'll probably be a wild card, one and done type team. But hey, man, just to be where he is right now at the midway point is a great thing, man, because he's still building his team. Because his team is sitting at a 74 overall. So, so you got to give him credit for even being 6-3 at this point.
And you what? Another thing is what a lot of people probably don't know is he took one of the most craziest hits this off season. He lost like four players, 2 good players, and he traded away Jamal Adams. So he took a crazy hit. So for him to be still in playoff contention, like actually making a run for the playoffs, you gotta tip your head off to him, because I know a lot of guys that just would have fell down by the wayside. Like, I just lost 4 of my top dudes. Oh man, and like so he competing, you know. But I gotta agree with you though. I think that if he makes it to the playoffs, I just can't see this roster making a crazy run, man. With the heavy hitters definitely out there in the AFC, I can't see this roster getting him to a deep playoff run. So I can see him being a one and done team in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So I guess that'll complete our You Must Have Forgot segment, and you know, it was another good show, man. So any closing thoughts before we close out another great episode of Move the Sticks?
Man, let's keep this level of play up, man. Cause I'm looking at, you know, the AFC standards and the NFC standards. We got some new bloods, man, that's cracking the list, man. It's really exciting to see those teams, man, you know, after grinding it out season after season, actually, you know, the work is paying off on right now. So let's keep grinding, man. Let's keep grinding.
No doubt, man. Are you expecting another new Super Bowl winner, man? Hey, big shout out to Bruce, man, on winning his first championship in the DML. Be getting that banner up pretty soon, I hope.
Yeah, man. It depends how the season looking right now, man. It's interesting right now, man. You got a lot of guys that you know. I mean, after hearing this, especially those, you know, some guys that we still gonna be one and done. We'll put that chip on their shoulder. You know, I'm hoping they put that chip on their shoulder. So I think it's gonna be a new Super Bowl banner holder this year. I think for sure.
Let's hope so, man. That's always good, man, to get new blood to raise a banner, man. It's always a great accomplishment, man, here to raise a banner here, man, because, hey, no matter how old that banner is, you're still a DML Super Bowl past winner, man. So don't let them kill you saying that your stuff doesn't matter, because it matters, because it's very tough to win any type of Super Bowl in a 32-man league one time, and it's even harder to do it over multiple seasons. So never let anybody try to kill your accomplishments. But like always, man, I'm your host, Nasty Noop, and like always, the OG Chris Murray is with me. Hey, man, be on the lookout for us, man, streaming live from EA Play next month, man. We're just like 33 days away, man. Purchased my ticket yesterday. Chris already has his. Expert is already in the building, and we're going to hook up with the guys on the West Coast, man. We're going to kick it hard and send back some great information to the league and to the CFM community. So be on the lookout for that on the DML network. And once again, man, this is Move the Sticks, and we're out. Peace.